Welcome to all of you on our overlook area, but also those of you at our underwater viewing area. Now, as some of you may have noticed, we are undergoing some renovations right now in our front area, but that means that we get to share some exciting behind-the-scenes stuff with you here at our back pool. We're very excited to share with you our renovations, hopefully in the spring. But for now, we will be back here getting to share with you some of our other pools. Joining us, we have our 2 out of 3 of our female killer whales. This is Malia over here on the left-hand side, and that's Nalani swimming around in front of me. We also have Katina. She is our matriarch, but right now our 3 females have access to more than one pool. So right now, over on the right-hand side, you'll see that there's a doorway that's open. Katina's over in that pool. She's keeping an eye on our 2 male killer whales, Trua and Makayo. So she is the matriarch of our pod, which means that she's going to make sure that all of our whales in our pod are doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is what she says. Now Malia over here on the left-hand side, she is the youngest female that we have here. She is 16 years old. And then Nalani on the right-hand side, she is 17 years old. But she is also the daughter of our matriarch Katina, who this year is going to be celebrating her 48th birthday. She is the oldest whale that we have here at SeaWorld Orlando, and she is a SeaWorld legend. Now we have a wide variety of different sessions that we can do with our whales. We do husbandry sessions, which is just healthcare. So we have a lot of different healthcare behaviors that we can do. We can do things like take their temperatures. We can flush their teeth twice a day. We check over their entire bodies to make sure that they're looking good. And what this big silver platform right here to my right is a big killer whale size scale. So we can ask our whales to slide up onto the scale and lift their tail so that we can get an accurate weight. Some other sessions that we might do are playtime sessions. So we have a lot of different ways that we can play with our whales. We have really big killer whale sized toys. They're really sturdy, really strong. Each toy is veterinarian approved to make sure that they are appropriate for our animals, because our animals do weigh thousands of pounds. Nalani here, she weighs around 5,100 pounds. Malia's a little bit more than that at around 5,400, and Katina's around 6,000 pounds. Male killer whales can get to be twice the size of that. And it looks like we are ready to get our session started. As you can see, Malia and Nalani are ready. We have these really big buckets here, and they are filled with lots and lots of fish. Killer whales are the top predator of the ocean, which means that they can hunt whatever they want. Here at SeaWorld, we have fish-eating killer whales, and they get 3 different kinds of fish. They get capelin, herring, and salmon. Now over at the stage area, Morgan just tapped that target pole. It's just that really long stick with a buoy on the end of it, and it's just an extension of our hand. It's a way that we can communicate with the whale. So she just stuck it in the water, and that was a visual target for Katina, letting her know, hey, I'm right over here, come and join us. Everything that we do with our whales is voluntary. We can only ask them to do something. It's up to them whether or not they would like to participate with us. So by tapping that target pole on the surface, that's a question of whether or not they would like to join us. And it looks like all 3 ladies would like to. Now Morgan just gave Katina a hand signal and tossed an ice cube into the water. And Katina came up right on that ice cube with a really big jump. So hand signals are one of the ways that we can communicate with our whales, in addition to those target poles. Those ice cubes as well that you might have seen Morgan toss into the water was letting Katina know where Morgan would like her to do that behavior. What this session is right now, I mentioned a couple of different sessions earlier, this is a learning session. We are practicing some pretty big behaviors, like the mommy is going to do a big jump over in the center right there. Just like that. So we're practicing a lot of these different behaviors, making sure that the whales are keeping up to date on their training. So Katina did that really big back reach right there in the center of the pool. And then came over to Justin, who had tapped his target pole in the water to reinforce or reward her for doing exactly what she had been asked to do. Of course, if she had gotten a little bit confused or done something different, that's totally okay. Sometimes even we get confused and we get asked things, and that's okay if we just say for the whales. Now it looks like Haley pointed Malia over to where Jenny is keeping her target pole in the water. Let's see what they're going to work on. This target pole was used as a guide for our whales for these learning sessions. So these target poles are really important training tools because we train using what's called successive approximations or baby steps. So these target poles are really helpful in guiding the whales to do these behaviors. So Haley just pointed Jenny, or Malia over to Jenny who tapped her target pole in the water, and it looks like Jenny pointed Malia right back. Now keep an eye on Stacy here. She's using her entire body to communicate with Nalani. She just gave Nalani a hand signal for a big jump in the center of the pool. And she's now going to toss that ice cube in to let Nalani know. Oh, did you see that? Wow. So right as Nalani was coming up out of the water, Justin tapped his target pole to let Nalani know, well done, you're pulling up right exactly where that ice cube was tossed. Come back to me and get some sort of reward. What we're working on with Nalani is her positioning for that behavior that Stacy had asked Nalani to do. Now Morgan just said, Katina over on the behavior on the left-hand side. That is a marlin behavior. It is a type of spy hop. Killer whales have excellent eyesight both above and below the water, so they can often be seen spy hopping or even tripping completely out of water and another around just like that. They've also got really excellent hearing. They can also hear while they're below the water. So you might hear us blowing the whistles that we have around our necks. That's letting the whales know, well done. That's exactly what I was looking for. And Haley just sent Malia over on a behavior. And that was really well done. So you guys just heard all of the trainers shouting on the stage. We have a lot of different ways that we can reward or reinforce our animals. We can give them fish, we can give them back rubs, but we also will clap and cheer for them when we're really excited. So now Stacy sent the same behavior, tossed that ice cube, and Nalani's coming over onto that ice cube.
Oh, it can jump fully out.
Really big jump in the center. So as I said, we were working on that positioning with that big front flip behavior. And Nalani is coming back to the stage to get further feedback from her trainer.
Mom, that's not your real phone.
Yes, it is, honey.
Now Morgan sent Malia, or no, Katina on a behavior. Let's see what she's going to do. And she just tapped the water as a way to communicate to Katina that run or the distance to the behavior was really excellent. Come back to me and get some sort of reward. So this is just an inside look into how we train our behaviors. So you might see those really big jumps or completed behaviors, but the run or the distance to the next behavior is just as important as the behavior itself. So by asking a whale to come back before the behavior is done and rewarding them for doing well in between is helping to keep that behavior up to criteria. Now there's a really good look at Katina in that slide out area. The position that she's doing right now is the position that we would ask the whales to hold when they're getting weighed. So I mentioned earlier for our husbandry or healthcare behaviors, one of the things that we can do is by asking them to slide their bodies onto that killer whale size scale to my right, and then we'll ask them to lift those tail wings to get an accurate weight. That's what Katina was just demonstrating right there. So by practicing those husbandry and healthcare behaviors in sessions like this, when the time does come when we're actually applying those behaviors, it helps to keep them calm and relaxed when the time does come.
How many orcas do you see? 3. 1, 2, 3. And here he comes.
So I was just told what we're actually working on with Nalani right here is we're working on the underwater part of this behavior. So you might have seen in the earlier times that Nalani was asked to do that front flip behavior, her water run or underwater portion was kind of really far out towards the slide out area. So what Justin was doing with that target pole on the right hand side was reminding Nalani to come a little bit further to the left hand side and then curve towards the middle of the pool. So she did really well with that run. And what Laura over here is holding in her hand is this box with 10 different buttons on it. Each button has a different underwater sound that indicates a different behavior or a different bridge to the whale. Now let's see what Katina's got in the center. Wow!
Big belly flop.
Even though Katina is the oldest whale we have here at SeaWorld Orlando at 47 years old, she can jump the highest and swim the fastest, as she just displayed with that incredible center belly breach. Now back to that tone box, all 10 buttons create different sounds underwater. So just before Nalani had done that flip behavior, Laura had pressed a button on that tone box to let Nalani know, well done, come back to me and get some sort of reward. And it looks like her underwater portion is getting better. It's still not quite exactly as we're trying to make it, but that's what sessions like this is for. So Justin, with that target pull over there is still indicating to Nalani a little bit further to our left, your right. Now Morgan is using her entire body to communicate to Katina that she's moving positions. A lot of the times, you'll see us giving hand signals to the whales, but we will also use our entire bodies, just like Morgan did right there, to indicate positioning or movement to the whales. Now this is a really good look at Katina's entire body right here. Morgan is giving her... Oh, that was amazing! Well done, Nalani. So you can see that she followed exactly the run that we were shaping. Now what Morgan is giving Katina right here is a nice rub down. That's just one of the ways that we can reward or reinforce our animals for choosing to participate with us. They have very sensitive skin, and it's constantly shedding, so they can feel every single movement that we make on them. This is also a really great way for us to strengthen our relationships with the whales. Alright, and it looks like we are ready to wrap up our training session. If you'd like to stay, keep watching our lovely 3 females. You are welcome to stay and watch, but if you're ready to leave, go ahead and head out to your left.
Careful, Christian, don't bump.
If you go out the way that you came. But again, you are welcome to stay. Thank you for joining us for this session. Our next one is at 6:30. Thank you again for joining us and have a great rest of your day here at SeaWorld. Bye everyone!
Hey, stop it right now! Okay, kind of.